Hello, guys. Hello, hello. Happy March. Yay, it's March. All right, so you guys are coming in. Hey, guys. So we're trying something new. We're trying something new to see how we like it, how we feel. One of the comments that I got from the past couple of lives specifically was like, hey, we really want to have a place where all of them are archived. So they are archived in the highlights, but of my Instagram page, Operation Sexy Body, Sexy with an I. But if you really want to kind of just go through and see what titles, you don't have to scroll through. This is the place. So we're going to try it. We're going to try and see. I was led to kind of do it like this to see how we can do it. So I'm excited to talk about our prolonged conversation that should have happened. Hey, y'all, come on in. That should have happened at the beginning of February 1st. But because our conversation, it didn't happen because our whole house got influenza A. So we were all down for the count, but we're back healthy. So hopefully you and your family are healthy as well. Let me start off by introducing myself. My name is Lynette Williams, aka Operation Sexy Body. I am a women empowerment productivity coach, and I help women all across the world lead a healthy and fulfilling life. And I use fitness as my therapy. It is my personal belief that the dedication, concentration, adjustment that you make in your fitness and nutrition life spills over into other aspects of your life. And that way you can become more happy, healthier, and whole, not only to yourself, but to the people in your life. And so the first of every month, we come together and we talk about different conversations that I'm led to do based on conversations with my clients or things that I'm seeing out in the world, out in the wild. Or you'll say, hey, Lynette, I've been kind of dealing with this, can you talk about it? So I wanted to talk about sad. And Are You Sad is the premise of this conversation. And I think the whole reason initially why this conversation came up, because I could not go a day for a couple of weeks without either seeing someone on Instagram, without talking to someone personally, without some form of revelation of functioning depression. What is wrong with me? I can't seem to get it together. I'm not motivated in my workout. I don't feel like eating right. This is not like me. What's going on? And it truly is a thing. So first, if you have felt that way over the last couple of months, you may be coming out of it a little bit. But if you have felt that way over the last couple of months, number one, you are not alone. Number two, it's a real thing. And number three, we're here to talk about it. Okay. So y'all know I love a good definition. So let me go and define it. So seasonal affective disorder. This is actually a diagnosis in the Diagnostic Statistical Manual that psychologists, psychiatrists, mental health professionals use in their practice. This was something that I learned almost immediately when I went to get my master's in professional counseling. The DSM, at that time, it was the DSM-4. They've had more updated iterations since then. But seasonal affective disorder is very real. It happens during the seasons. And we're just going to figure out how to get around it, how to talk about it. What is it exactly? Because you may be thinking like, it was something wrong, but I don't think it was depression. I think I was just, kind of in a mood and, so let's just talk about it. All right. So seasonal affective disorder. I'm going to read this part because I don't want to paraphrase it. I want to specifically state what the internet says. Excuse me. So seasonal affective disorder is a type of depression. So it is a form of depression, guys, that occurs at a specific time of the year, usually in the winter when hours are shorter. So we're talking about depending on where you are in the country, winter can be from September, October, all the way through January, February. It can significantly impact your mood, your energy levels, and overall well-being. All right. It's thought to be linked to the lack of exposure to sunlight. It messes up our internal clock, which is our circadian rhythm. You hear people talk about our circadian rhythm. That's why not only is circadian rhythm a real thing, we have to pay attention to our body's internal clock. So a lot of times, my dad used to call it burning the midnight oil, right? You cannot be up super late at night and get up super early in the morning, stress yourself all day, lack of nutrition during the day, lack of hydration during the day, rinse and repeat day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, and not expect our bodies to react to it. So, our circadian rhythm is something that we need to pay a lot of attention to, but we'll talk about that another time. So not only does the lack of sunlight disrupt our circadian rhythm, but it leads to a drop in serotonin, which is our mood regulator neurotransmitter, which basically means the way that we self-regulate our mood. You know, sometimes you wake up in a great mood and there's nothing that happened that made you in a great mood. And then sometimes you wake up and you're just like, I just want to start the day over. And that is serotonin. So your serotonin levels are off. And so diet, exercise, nutrition, fitness level, sunlight, there are a lot of mitigating factors to increase or decrease our serotonin levels. But in the seasonal affective disorder months, in our winter months, when we don't get that direct sunlight, it is more likely that our serotonin levels are going to be low. All right, so what are some symptoms? Low mood, lack of energy, and fatigue. You just cannot get out of the bed. Like, no matter what you do, no matter how much caffeine you drink, no matter how many naps you take, you're still just like tired. Changes in your sleep pattern. So either you oversleep or you can't sleep at all. You fall asleep, but you wake up. It could be your increased appetite, right? Um, we never crave chicken breast. we never crave, we never crave healthy stuff. We always crave carbohydrates like pops or sodas, juice, cookies, sweets. You know, you may have your sweet tooth may just be literally off the chain in these seasonal affective disorder months. So social withdrawal is another thing. So sometimes, you know, and typically the seasonal affective disorder months are the months where we have the most parties. Let me see what y'all saying. Okay. We have the most parties. We have celebrations. It's festive, happy times, right? Jingle bells and all that. But I don't want to go. I don't feel like going. It's a struggle to even interact with people to the degree that you're used to. Okay. All right. So let's talk about how diet can combat seasonal affective disorder. You want to eat foods, number one, that are high in omega-3 fatty acids like salmon, mackerel, sardines, walnuts, flax seeds, chia seeds. They have anti-inflammatory properties. So when you think about an anti-inflammatory diet, you think about things that don't stimulate or don't inflame you. So things that are not complex, things that are easy for your body to digest. Because what you want is you want to eat foods that are easy for your body to digest, so that energy is not spent on breaking down crappy foods. It's that energy that your body produces from eating good foods is used to boost your mood. Like if you ever eat and want to go to sleep, if you ever eat and have like gas or bloating, if you ever eat and you just are so tired, you just need a quick nap before you go back to work or before you start your next project, that is a sign that you are eating an inflammatory diet and there's something that your body does not like. So you want to try to eliminate that. Vitamin D. Okay, we get vitamin D directly from the sun, but in our seasonal affective disorder months, we can't get that. So taking a vitamin D supplement is going to be key for those of you all who are affected by it. I take a vitamin D supplement. So my oldest daughter, Skylar, her birthday is September 1st. So on her birthday, I start my supplements from September all the way up until February. All right. You want to limit last two things, and then I'll move on and talk about exercise because diet and exercise are like fasting and praying. Okay. They go together. All right. You want to limit your caffeine and sugar. So for all my coffee drinkers, for all my caffeinated tea drinkers, for all my people who just need a piece of chocolate every night, you want to limit that stuff because all that does is it leads to a spike in your blood sugar level and a crash. So anything that goes up is going to come down. So the idea is that you want to keep your blood sugar level stable enough that you're eating every 3-ish hours a micro and macronutrient dense meal. So your micronutrients are your vitamins and minerals. Your macronutrients are your carb, fat, protein. So you want to eat a calorically dense meal that is filling, because a lot of times we eat food but we're not fueling ourselves. Okay, so you got to make sure that you limit your caffeine. It maybe you have a cup a day. Well, maybe go to a cup every other day. Maybe go to a half a cup a day. Maybe push your cup till mid morning instead of as soon as you get up. um you got to figure that out. But in these months, and we're just specifically, I mean, it's a great way to be regardless, but specifically in the seasonal affective disorder months, these are the times where you want to pay real close attention to your body. You want to be very clear about your intention for the day, for the week, for these couple of months. You want to be very very, 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 very specific about what you put into your body and how that is going to, because input and output is equal, right? So if you put crap in your body, you're going to feel like crap. But if you put quality, dense, nutritious foods in your body, that's how you're going to feel. Okay. And last but not least, stay hydrated. This is the most, now I struggle, full transparency, I struggle a lot with hydration during the winter months because it's cold. So the last thing I want to do is drink cold water. That's the last thing I want to do. I see some of you guys saying the same thing. Yeah, it's like, oh gosh, I gotta drink. It's time for me to drink water again. But you have to. Dehydration, and you're not dehydrated after, by the time you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. So staying on top of your hydration, ideally half your body weight in ounces of water a day or 8 cups. Some of you all may be on medication, water pills, and things like that, where you can't get that amount of ounces. But you have to continuously drink water throughout the day, whether you infuse the water, whether it's sparkling water, whether it's good old tap water, like whatever it is. Just make sure you try to get your water in, because if you're not if you're not hydrating properly, you're not eating properly. And if you're not hydrating and eating properly, you're not going to eliminate properly. And if you're not going to eliminate properly, all that waste is just going to be inside you, which is going to lead to fatigue. Your mood is going to be interrupted. You're not going to want to work out. So it's just like this extra layer. All right. So speaking of working out, these are some ways that your exercise, and I'm gonna do all this stuff, and then I'll take a break. Okay. How can you exercise? What ways can you exercise to combat your seasonal affective disorder? So outdoors. So even if it's a cloudy day, outdoor exercise exposes you to natural light, and you can, even if it's cloudy, you can still feel the warmth on your skin. Metaphorically speaking, you're just outside. It's just, it's good to breathe fresh air. You guys may have seen, but I work out a lot in the gym in my home in the basement. It's dark. It's stuffy, and so I make it a point in these seasonal affective disorder months. I make dates with girlfriends to go walking, or I'll get memberships to different classes and studios around the Atlanta metropolitan area to make sure that I can get out and be in community. Because if I don't want to do it at 4 o'clock in the morning, at least I can go at some point before I have to go get the kids, but I'm in community, I'm outside, I'm driving, I'm showering, I'm intentional about, looking halfway decent. So it does a lot for your mood to get outside. Okay. Whatever that is, walking, running, dancing, horseback riding, skipping, scooting, whatever, scooters, whatever it is, just get outside. Okay. Yoga and stretching. So I know a lot of you all are like, oh, is yoga considered a workout? Is stretching considered a workout? Absolutely. To literally get our bodies in a place where we are utilizing breath work to help our muscles oxygenate and to make us feel really good. And you ever go to a yoga class and you just come out, you're just so zen. You're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Absolutely. Yoga and stretching. The whole practice of yoga is about mindfulness. So it really refocuses your intention on yourself. Yoga practices I love because it always talks about intention. Set your intention. What is your intention for this practice? And it really helps to like recenter and kind of refocus and kind of cuts out the noise in your mind, right? Aerobic exercise. So this is like a duh, but running, swimming, dancing, brisk walking, it's getting your heart rate up. So you may be sweating, you may have beads of sweat on you. Your heart rate is elevated. So it just makes you feel really good. If you can't run, then you trot. If you can't trot, then you speed walk. If you can't speed walk, then you walk and pump your arms really fast. If you can't walk and pump your arms really fast, then you just walk as fast as you can and clap and say, thank you, Jesus. Okay. So whatever you can do for aerobic exercise to get that heart rate up just a little bit, absolutely do that. One of my favorite things is strength training. Body weight exercises. So it doesn't have to be lifting weights, but body weight exercises or strength training with weights is going to make you feel so good. You're going to be sore potentially, most likely, but it's going to make you feel so good. And last but not least, consistency. So you see I have on my shirt, committed. You got to be committed to the process. I would say 40% of the people that I talk to around this time say, well, I'm gonna kind of do my own thing and I'll touch base with you at the top of the year. I think personally, just me, I think the seasonal affective disorder months are the best time to have a plan, have a program, have a coach. I always try to do groups during these months because people need community. They need accountability. They need consistency. So when they don't have the commitment themselves, at least they can be in a community of people that say, okay, well, I'm not perfect. No one is perfect, by the way. Okay. But I'm not perfect, but at least I see my sister trying. And if she's trying, then that means that I feel like I can try a little bit more. And that little bit more can take you to places that get you to the bridge to get you to the next place. So it's not about, oh, I have 50 pounds to lose. It's like you lose 50 pounds just like you lose a pound, day by day, meal by meal, workout by workout. It's the consistency that gets you to where you want to be. I'm going to do another conversation about consistency a little bit later, but it's key. I think I hear a kid coming. I apologize, guys. Saturday morning. Yes. Yes. Yes, my love. Okay. Can you give me a second? I'm recording something and I'll come and get you in a second, please. Thank you. You can put him in his cage. I did. Okay, thank you. All right. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So let me give you a daily routine, a sample routine of things that you can do. You can fill in your time. So after I do this, I'm going to talk to you about my personal experience. Okay. All right. So where's my schedule? Excuse me. Sorry, guys. All right. So, morning routine, wake up at the same time every day. Whether you do every day or whether you do Monday through Friday and then your Saturday and Sunday are the same, or if you just want to do every day, but wake up at the same time. What that does is it forces you throughout the day to get stuff done. If we think, oh, I don't know what time I'm going to bed today. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, I don't know what time I'm going to eat. Then that's exactly how your life is going to be: chaotic and whimsical and unstructured. But if you want to be committed, if you want to be consistent, you're going to have to relatively go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time. Okay. So wake up at the same time every day. If you have the option to do some light therapy, meaning either your alarm clock can be a light, or if you have some sort of light therapy device, because some people do have those at home. You can find them on Amazon. Just Google light therapy device. This is good for about 15 to 20 minutes. You can do this while you meditate, while you read your Bible, while you You have your quiet time, right? I think it's important for us to have just quiet time. So never, if you can help it, because I know people's schedules are different and things happen. People have kids of different ages, people have responsibilities of different varying levels. But don't wake up and go. Wake up, give yourself time to breathe, look around, figure out what day is it? What time is it? What do I have to do today? Um, just to take a deep breath, because what happens is when you get up and go, you can't plan. That means you can't hydrate. That means you can't eat breakfast appropriately. You can't plan for lunch appropriately. You can't pack many meals on the go. If you have other people that you're responsible for, parents, kids, you can't do any of that. You just wake up and go. So if you can, that's why it's important to wake up and go to bed on time, because you have to set boundaries for yourself, not only in the seasonal affective disorder months, but you got to set boundaries for yourself. If you just wake up whatever time you want to and go, if you go to bed at whatever time you want to and you wake up tired, you're going to wear yourself out. You're going to wear yourself out and you're going to wear your body down. Okay. So that's the first thing. Wake up at the same time, light therapy if possible, eat a breakfast. Eat a good, healthy breakfast. I've heard a lot of people talk about like, oh, my breakfast is my biggest meal of the day, and then I just kind of skip lunch because I'm always working through lunch, and then I'll eat dinner. No, that's not what I'm saying. Okay, make certain that you eat a healthy breakfast. So no cereal, no Pop Tarts, no none of that. Try making sure you balance your meals, right? Some good healthy protein, some good healthy carbohydrates like fruits and veggies. Yes, it's okay to have vegetables for breakfast. I don't know if you guys have saw my daughter's breakfast, but they eat green beans, sweet potatoes, and grilled chicken for breakfast. It's easy. It doesn't aggravate any of their allergies. It's anti-inflammatory. It's filling. They love it. I add some olive oil for some fat just to make certain that they're balanced in their macronutrients. And they love it. So make sure to eat a good breakfast. And if you can, do 20 or 30 minutes, ideally 30 minutes of exercise before you head out the door. Some people cannot do that. But again, this is ideal. Okay, this is an ideal schedule. So you wake up at the same time every day. You go to bed at the same time every day. Eat a good breakfast and work out. If you can do that consistently, you're going to set yourself up on a trajectory to just soar. Traffic is not going to bother you. That crazy coworker is not going to aggravate you as much. Your projects that you have to do deadline, you're more focused to do that because you've already gotten those good endorphins going on in your body. You're already full. When you are hungry, starving, aggravated, you can't focus. You can't be productive. So try to do that. All right. So now let's work on during the day. Only two things that I need you to do. Well, three things. I need you to take breaks. A lot of times I'll talk to clients and they'll say, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's 2:00. I got here at 8. I haven't even gotten up to go to the bathroom. If you have to set a timer on your phone, if you have to set an alarm to go off, if you have to time block your calendar. I worked with this one executive who for an entire week, except for Friday at 5 p.m., there was no white space on her calendar. So we went through her calendar and I'm like, all right, when can we take two 15-minute breaks? I don't have it. I said, what do you mean? She's like, I got a meeting at 9, 10, 11, 12. I have to travel to an offsite meeting, have to be there at 1, 2, 3, 4. And I get off at 5. And I'm like, and that was like a week. And I was like, we have to figure this out. And so, we did work it out eventually, and we got her some breaks in there. Not as many as I wanted to, but we got her some breaks. But I'll say this and I'll move on. But, if you are in charge of your calendar, you have 100% control over when you schedule meetings. And so don't let it be back to back. If you can do a 15-minute, transition time, everything has a transition time. Okay. Even exercises, you got to fit at least 15 seconds. So in your case, it may be 10, 15 minutes. Let me get up and go to the bathroom. Let me stretch. Let me do something. If you are not in control of your calendar and somebody puts a meeting on your calendar and it creates a space where you really could use a little bit of a break, reach out to that manager, coworker, supervisor, whatever, to say, hey, I see that you put a meeting on my calendar for 3 p.m. Is it okay if we do 3:15? I just need, you don't even have to say why you need. Is it okay if we do 3:15? Would 3:15 work? Sure, no problem. Great. Because chances are they need the break too. All right, so work in some breaks, hydrate and snack smart. Now, I am not a big proponent of snacking because I think snacking leads to snacking. But if you can have some sort of, that's why it's important to pack at home. That's why it's important to get up at the same time so you can eat breakfast, so you can exercise, so you have the bandwidth to figure out what meals or snacks you need to take with you throughout the day. Then have a good lunch. Make sure you have a nice quality lunch. So don't be going with your coworkers to the Chinese buffet. Don't be going to get, Maggiano's and pasta and all that stuff, because all it's going to do is make you go to sleep. It's all it's going to do is make you go to sleep. So if you can bring your lunch and then get out of the office to socialize, great. Those of you all who work at home, go out and work a couple of days at the library or at coffee house or something like that, just to get out the house. Pack your lunch if you can. If not, go places that have healthy options, because if you set yourself up for success in places that are in alignment with your goals, like, don't go work out and don't go and try to work at, McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts. Like, yes, they have like little lobbies, but that's not the place where you really want to like camp out. Go to coffee houses or boutique places, boutique little cafes that have the bandwidth to do that. All right. So let's get into right before our nighttime routine. The best time to talk to me is in the car. And lucky for y'all, I'm always in the car. I'm always in the car. I'm either taking the kids to school, picking the kids up, going to get them. Like, I'm always in the car. So that is the time for social connection, because the sun is not out. My serotonin levels are down. I have a tendency to withdraw. I don't really feel like going places. So the best thing that I can do is call people, or now with iPhone you can send a text and report it to send later. So most oftentimes, if somebody's on my mind, I really want to talk to them, but I don't have the opportunity right then, I'll just send a text and I'll send it later, right before I have to get in the car. So hopefully they'll text me back and then we can talk when I'm in transit. So make sure to get that social connection. You get home, you get your dinner, you take your wind down. I call it deload and reload in my accountability groups. I may do a conversation about that too, but you wind down, have your specific bedtime routine, whether it's washing your face. For us, it's, the kids' routine go first. So they do prayer, bath, or wash up, clean up room, pray, story, maybe go to bed. And then whatever routine I have usually 45 minutes to an hour. And then it's lights out, because not that I've done everything that I'm supposed to do, but because I know I have to get up at a certain time to be able to continue my day the way I need to. So let me tell you, my personal experience, and then I'll leave you with a few tips, because I know that this is a little long, but I got to run. And then I'll answer your questions too. I'll answer some of you guys' questions once they pop up. Because this is a little different format for me. Okay, so my father transitioned in October 6 years ago, and almost 7 years ago this October. But I also got married in October. So October is a really tough month typically for me. Homecoming for my school is usually in October, so that's usually fun, but it also comes with the memory of my father transitioning. November obviously is Thanksgiving. December obviously is Christmas. So it brings back the memories of, my dad playing such a huge part in the holiday festivities. And so it's also in the sad months, right? So on top of all the stuff that we just talked about, and I'm sure you have your own personal relationship with the seasonal affective disorder months. I'm sure that there is, something that you can think back to, a time where these months weren't the best, or you typically don't feel the best. I was talking with a client and she had the aha. She said, "Oh my gosh, I felt like this since I was like a teenager. I just never knew what it was." She was like, "My mama was like this. Now I'm like this, and I'm in my 40s, and I never knew it was a thing." And it really is a thing. So you are not alone. Again, you are not alone. This is an opportunity to be better, do better, commit yourself to a process. Again, not only during these months, but make it a routine, make it a part of who you are. You are not just a person that's one dimensional. You are multifaceted. So that leads me into some other things, and I'm gonna let you guys go. One of the things that you're gonna have to do is track your mood, right? Like don't necessarily have to journal, but if you are in a space, in a place that you just don't know what's going on, write it down, so that the next day, or maybe a couple of days from there, you'll say, "Oh, I forgot it was this time." Whether you're into astrology, whether you're into, "Oh, I usually work out and I didn't work out that day. That's why I felt like I was going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs," right? So things will make sense, but you got to track your mood. You got to track your feelings. You got to figure out a way to identify patterns so that you can disrupt them. A lot of times we end up making the same mistakes and end up going down the same road because we don't know what's going on. We just wake up and just go. Okay. Number two, stay flexible. You guys hear me say all the time, get up, get active, and do something for yourself. But if it's a day that you really just deep down in your soul, in the bowels of your spirit, just don't have it in you, it's okay. The world will still go on. You will still be accomplished. You will still be committed to your goals. And your mental health is better than doing a workout that you're just trying to do to, mark it off on the calendar, or to prove to somebody that you did it, right? Stuff like that has to be for yourself. So give yourself grace, be flexible, make a plan, adjust your plan, and then move accordingly. All right. And the last thing is, which I think isn't talked enough about, but if you have an issue, if you feel like you've done all the things and nothing is really working, seek some help. There are so many amazing psychological, physiological, psychiatric help that you can lean on. And if that's where you are, that's where you are. So make sure to do that. So I definitely will answer your questions, guys. We're back. Hopefully, we are back on a good track for once a month. On the first of every month, we come here. We talk about certain conversations that you guys either want to talk about or that I'm kind of hearing on my end. I apologize for not being able to be with you February 1st. I take great pride in doing the first of every month, and I've done it for years. And I can't remember the last first I missed, but we're back. We're healthy. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today. Make sure you like and comment. I'm trying to grow this page. I'm trying to do a different format. So I'm trying to break out of, what I normally do, because this is the time to do it. And this is the strategy that I am attempting to implement, but I need your help. So make sure to like, comment, make sure to send this page to a friend. We'll have our conversations on here. And of course, I will still be on Instagram doing all the things, but these big, nice conversations, it's nice to see the comments. It's nice to respond to the comments, and we'll just see how it goes. All right, guys, have a good one. Thank you for coming.